Good morning, Alaska. Probably fucking -60 where you guys are in Alaska right now. Reporting from Davao City, Philippines is the Flag Raven and Jerlyn.
You look like a girl.
Just another day in the hood. Me and Jerlyn, you and I are just a couple of stray cats in the neighborhood. I hope you're prepared for the boredom that's coming when we move to Jensen. Because you're gonna be unemployed. You're gonna have so much free time on your hands, and you and I are gonna be cooped up in the same room together all day, every day. And you won't have your family, so you have no refuge from me. It's just gonna be me and you.
Used to it.
We're gonna be smothering each other. It's gonna be a real test of our relationship. Oh, look at this dog. You think we're gonna make it? Mm-hmm. Think so? What if you get sick of me and dump me for some other old rich foreigner?
Oh, stop that.
I stumbled across this video yesterday. It was talking about burnout of foreigners and how most of them only make it 1 to 3 years here in the Philippines, which I'm not surprised by at all because it's drastically different from North America or even Europe, you know? Hi guys, how are you? But I think that even if you go back to your native country, you're still being smothered by problems, just different ones. This is my 4th time in the Philippines, and every time I'm back in Canada and I see photos or videos or whatever of the Philippines, I always think to myself, oh man, the next time I'm there, I'm going crazy. You know, I'm gonna do so many things. I'm going here, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna be outside every day doing all sorts of stuff, but that is not the truth, because when you get here, the fatigue that the heat brings with it is just crippling. I mean, honestly, you only have maybe like 1 to 3 hours of energy before you're just absolutely tapped in this place. What's up, everyone? I'm going to pick up the princess from work. We've got a long walk ahead of us. Been inside every day for quite a while now. Ever since this badminton arc ended, it's been feeling pretty bad, actually, man. Exercise is a drug. It's a good drug, and I haven't been that active since I was a kid, you know, so going back to not really having any exercise in a day besides from walking is affecting me. Man, look at that skyline. Beautiful. So as I've stated before, an overwhelming majority of foreigners actually leave the Philippines within 1 to 3 years, even if they anticipated staying here permanently. And as I've said before, this place is a hard place to adapt to, you know? Everything is done a very certain way here, and you either get on board with it or you leave. It's that simple. If you do any bad in this place, you'll simply be deported. If you do any good in this place, well, it's not actually really doing any good at all. There's definitely a few tips and tricks. What's up, Kuya? What's up? Every time I pull the camera out, man, everybody always wants to see it. What's up, guys? So obviously, as you guys know, December, Christmas, biggest holiday ever in the Philippines. This is just downtown. I don't even know if there's anything going on in particular. It's just busy, period. You know, if you're just visiting here in the Philippines, you won't find much that you hate. But if you live here, it's bound to happen. It's only a matter of time until you find a bunch of shit that you're not happy about, you know? And a tactic that I've learned to making me like this place more or tolerate this place more is hating my own country. I think that's pretty valuable. There's a lot of value in that. If you focus on the things that you really don't like about your country and why you fled from there in the first place, just constant reminders of how this place is better than your native country. When I think about the crippling expenses of living in Canada, or the absolute frigid, horrible weather 6 months of the year, it really does make a lot of the problems that I have here in the Philippines seem like nothing. Every single city in the Philippines feels like Toronto in Canada. Just picked up the princess from work. Now we're at People's Park, Davao City. The floors light up. So what? It's just like a walking park? With like a bunch of decorations and stuff everywhere? It's easy to build a lot of outdoor facilities like this here in the Philippines because it's the same climate and weather all year round. Man, let me tell you guys something about the Philippines. If you like girls that are secretly boys, but look like girls, but have wieners secretly, this is the place for you. You will love the Philippines. There is a lot of ladyboys in this damn place. Hey, you got the same shirt as me. Hey, you just copied my style completely. Good morning, New Zealand. You know anything about New Zealand?
Only Switzerland.
Only what?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, no. That's not New Zealand, baby. I know something about New Zealand. Here, let me show you. Take the camera, film me. Ready? I'll take this. Ooh, wata mata hakiara. That's called a haka dance from the Maori people, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Probably not pronouncing that correctly. But I'm pretty sure that dance, and they've got all sorts of different chants and stuff that go with it, was used by like the tribes to intimidate their enemies or something, or so I've heard, but they're pretty cool. Wata hiya maka. Oh. I actually read an article just the other day. I don't know if it's true or not, considering almost everything on the internet is fake now or AI or whatever, but I read that New Zealand actually has a stray cat crisis as well. I don't know if it can possibly be any worse than the Philippines' stray cat crisis, but I guess they're gonna supposedly kill something like 2.5 million stray cats. They have to kill them all because they're like endangering the wildlife and stuff there. Walking the princess to the takoyaki stall. You really love takoyaki, huh? What's your favorite food in the world? Like if you were gonna die in 10 minutes, what would you want to eat before you die?
Takoyaki.
Takoyaki, is it actually your favorite food?
Oh, I think it's close. Yeah,
Oh, that sucks.
close.
You know, there's street food all over the place in the Philippines, but there's a problem with a lot of it. A lot of it's just like deep fried garbage that you don't want to be eating every single day, all day. But the other thing is that the Filipino diet largely consists of just rice with some sort of meat. It's just rice and meat, which like, I want fruits and vegetables, but there's not really any meals prepared that are like vegetables or like nice, hearty, healthy soups, you know? It's just like rice and meat. And man, I get sick of that real quick. Man, I love roosters. Look at you guys. Oh, there's chicks in here. Hi, little baby. Oh no, look at this one's eye. Oh, baby. Poor thing. Holy, look at that ant. I would not want to get bit by that thing. God damn, I've been walking for like, I don't know what, 15, 20 minutes. I'm already like, just smoked. Man, this heat is crazy. It's actually been particularly hot here lately. There's two things that I noticed about the Philippines is that work and school culture here are so loose compared to North America. There's so many days where like, it's a Monday, it's like on Monday, whatever, and kids aren't in school. There'll just be like a ton of them at the basketball court or something. I'm like, why aren't you guys in school? And they say, oh, half day or this or that, or there's always some sort of excuse. But the schools are partially responsible for it too, because the schools will just give kids, holy, look at this dog. Look at you, you're huge. Hi. Yes? Whoa. Okay, well then don't walk up to me then, you fucking weirdo. Oh, gosh. Walking through these muddy alleyways again. Believe it or not, this is actually a main path to get to this road over here, which is pretty unorthodox. So it just crossed my mind that I'm actually on my 10th month here in the Philippines across my 4 trips here now, which is crazy to think about. I've spent nearly a year here in the Philippines. I want to talk to you guys about a couple revelations that I've had just as a foreigner here in the Philippines, some of my strategies on making it here, maybe permanently, some of the challenges that I face, maybe unique to me or maybe across all foreigners, I'm not sure. One of the first things that I noticed living here in the Philippines is the isolation that it comes with, because it's challenging. It's very challenging to deal with that. You know, no matter how much you assimilate and try to integrate with the community and, you know, shake hands and be friendly with everyone, you're never gonna be Filipino, you know? You're always gonna be a foreigner, and you're probably never gonna really know the language. You might pick up a couple sentences and whatever, right? To help yourself navigate around, but
yeah, you're never gonna have like any real meaningful, deep conversations and become like really good pals with someone, you know? It's just probably not gonna happen. That's actually why a lot of foreigners here tend to stick amongst themselves. That's why there's so many bars in Manila and stuff like that that are just foreigners only, you know? What's up, Kuyas? So I think to make it here long term in the Philippines, like I've said in previous videos, you kind of have to be a lone wolf, you know? You have to really not have much of a community back in your native country, not be too close with your family, don't have any kids or tie downs or responsibilities, and really those are the kind of people that you see here. Those are the foreigners that exist here in the Philippines. Otherwise, how could you do it, right? How could you move literally across the world from North America with none of your family or your kids or whatever? You can't have any sort of obligations or responsibilities, right? Secondly, is that your house is your paradise, because chances are, as a foreigner from a first world country or anywhere in North America, whatever, you probably do things the North American way, so you're gonna have a completely different idea of cleanliness and just how you want things done. You probably have a different level of organization. You're not so tolerant to garbage and like dirty floors and whatever in your house, right? So yeah, that's gonna be your main escape, you know? Those four walls are gonna be your saving grace, because yeah, it's kind of stressful, like being outside here, you know? There's definitely a level of exhaustion that comes with being a foreigner here in the Philippines and just being out in public, you know, amongst the people, you know, the garbage, the stray animals, the beggars asking for money, everyone just being friendly and trying to converse with you and stuff like that. So just a lot of social interactions in a day, you know, and these things are exhausting. They are. You have to hate your native country. Like, you have to be fleeing from something awful in your country, which I am, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I love my family, but that was really all I had there, you know? I was a photographer for 12 years, and that was slipping through my fingers because obviously AI and stuff is making that an obsolete job. What else? The long, harsh, cold, desolate winters were really getting to me. Weather depression is absolutely a thing in Canada. You know, half of the year is just a complete write-off where you're stuck in your bedroom playing video games all day, and man, by 30 years old, you do not want to be doing that anymore, especially not by 32. There's just a different energy here in the Philippines too, you know? That was another main factor because I'd already experienced this place. And compared to Canada, there's just nothing going on in that place at all, ever. I mean, this is just a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, right? So, look at this, corn dogs and everything. Yeah. My relationship with my ex of 2 years ended there. My two best friends moved very far away. You know, my career was slipping through my fingers, and all of this is happening at the same time. And so it just made the decision to come here very organic, you know, kind of like a no-brainer. I can see how if you had a life still in your native country, how coming here would kind of feel like maybe you didn't make the right decision, you know? Yeah, you really gotta hate where you're coming from in order to truly love this place. Man, these guys really know how to do the decorations. Look at that. That's the city hall. Awesome. Another big revelation and challenge that I've had here personally has been staying busy. That is a really challenging one. My girlfriend works 6 days a week, and like I said, you're never truly going to be Filipino, so no matter how much you're trying to integrate to things here, it's always going to kind of dwindle down into like a lone wolf lifestyle, you know? So, and obviously, as a foreigner here in the Philippines, you're not working, you know? So it just feels like you're on vacation, like a permanent extended vacation. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been on vacation by yourself. You'd probably be okay for a week or two, but when you do it for months and even years, yeah, you really need to create some goals for yourself, which is challenging. I'm an avid guitar player and competitive gamer, and that chews up a lot of time, you know? I can do both of those things in the comfort of my own room on my laptop, but wow, if I didn't have those things, I really don't know how I would keep sane. Because how many times can you really walk around the streets, you know, keeping yourself occupied, looking at the same things? I mean, I guess feeding the strays and stuff, I do that too, but yeah, that's really about it. Considering the badminton thing kind of came to an end too, there's the end of my physical activity, you know, so wow, look at this hotel. Looks a little shabby, but the price is right. 3 hours for 168 pesos, that's $4, or 24 hours for $14. Definitely won't find a hotel for that price in Canada. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Hey, you want girl?
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. No matter how many things I discover in the Philippines that I'm not too fond about, it's always going to come down to the same thing, that it's going to be extremely hard to leave this place if I was to ever leave it, simply because of the cost of living. That is the biggest, I'd say, alluring factor for me personally, because coming from Canada, I don't know if you guys know the state of Canada right now, but in 40 million people, I'd say 40% of them are Indians. We're absolutely overrun by India. We've practically been recolonized by India, so congratulations to them on that achievement. But the cost of living is absolutely crippling. I mean, like back-breaking. It is just, it's not even livable. It's not. It's like a basic, going out for lunch or whatever is like upwards of $25 for like just a simple lunch, you know? It's just insane. Groceries, gas, rent, it's just, you can't even live. It's so expensive to live in Canada that I think that it's probably cheaper to live in the Philippines with no income than it is to live in Canada with a job and income. Maybe even 2 jobs. Somehow it's still cheaper here. With what Canada has come to, it almost feels like even if I didn't want to live in the Philippines, I would have to live here anyway because of the cost of living in Canada, you know? How could you ever go back to something, especially after experiencing life here? I mean, my rent and my bills is just over $200 a month. I mean, I'm going out getting like a nice big bowl of hot soup and vegetables for $1.25. It's just, you know, how could you ever go back to the way that you were living before that? I don't know how this whole arc ends for me, but I hope it ends well. I wish I was more experienced. I wish I had an opportunity to visit Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, you know, all over Southeast Asia. Even East Asia would be nice, obviously, you know, Korea, Japan, China. I would love to visit all these places to get a proper idea of where it is that I actually want to settle down and live. As I've said before though, it's challenging because English is spoken more in the Philippines than anywhere else in Southeast Asia. On top of that, you got the cheapest cost of living. Look at this. Sambagita Tourist Inn. But really, there's not a whole lot of tourists here. I mean, still, foreigners are honestly still quite rare actually in Davao. Not that rare, but rare enough to fill a hotel, especially in an area like this, just some random side street in the middle of nowhere. Okay, here we go. Time to surprise the princess at work. I told her I was taking a shower and playing video games until she gets home, but here we go. Hi, princess.
You're so ethical.
How are you?
I'm good.
They're good lies, though.
But you're ethical.
They're called white lies. A white lie means a lie that's told for the good. Like if you ask me how you look in a dress, you say, does this dress make me look fat? And I say, no, it doesn't. This is actually a pretty good job for a Filipino person, so I feel bad about my girlfriend leaving it, but she does want to leave it anyway. She's ready for something new.
Hello, Philippines, and hello, world.
Close. Good afternoon, China. Wani, ni kanchilai han piaoliang. You know that?
Ciao.
Not quite. Just another fiery, hellish day in Davao City, Philippines. We're at San Pedro going to do whatever. You want to go in the church and make a quick prayer to the sweet baby Jesus? I can't go in the church and pray anymore. Makes me too horny. Good morning. Pick a country. Say good morning to a country in the world. Get creative.
Good morning. Wait, no. Good morning, Korea.
Korea? Okay. Good evening, Siberia. I'll bet you Siberia sucks. But not as bad as Liberia. Speaking of happiness as a foreigner in the Philippines, I actually just watched a pretty interesting video talking about how the Philippines actually hasn't recovered its tourism rate since 2019. In fact, it's down 45% of tourists since 2019. Thailand recovered up to 75%. Vietnam is actually up to 120%. So they're actually doing 20% better than they were in 2019 in regards to their tourism. Malaysia is at 100%. That's all I remember, but pretty interesting. Why hasn't the Philippines recovered? Why aren't people visiting the Philippines? And the video was talking about how the Philippines is dangerous, or according to Canada, there was actually like a big post that blew up that was posted by like a blog or whatever in Canada. It kind of went viral. Hey, what's up, man? How are you? And talking about how the Philippines is the most dangerous place in Southeast Asia to visit as a tourist, which, is it? I don't know, but does that make it dangerous? No, not at all. At least not in my 1 year of being here. Look at you poor strays, man. So many of you. Like I've said in previous videos, I've thrown all my common sense out the window in this place. I mean, again, I live in a pretty low income place with not very good education, not very good standards in a lot of different regards. And you know, I walk around at 2 a.m. feeding stray animals and everything, and I have never had anybody press me. I used to, hey man, I used to do the same thing in Manila, Makati, General Santos, which is another part of Mindanao that I'm moving to, you know, all these things. And I've never had any issues as far as safety, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, because regarding safety, it only takes one bad experience to kind of change your perspective completely, right? You can have 1,000 good days here in the Philippines. It only takes being robbed at gunpoint one time to completely change your perspective on what safety means, you know? So, you know what my honest opinion is when it comes to safety is to just be a stand-up guy, you know? I see like foreigners here sometimes in the Philippines, and you guys know my stance on foreigners, it's not very good. But I see like, whenever I do see somewhat kind of youngish guys, they're kind of like, I don't know, kind of nerdy or something, you know? They're like just like, hey everyone. You know, kind of like this dude's got like a fanny pack on and got like sandals on, socks with sandals, and his socks are like up to his knees, and you know, and I don't know, they just don't strike me as type of like, they don't walk the walk, they don't talk the talk, and they're kind of like a target. They're kind of, what's up guys, how are you? Okay now? Yeah, they're kind of like a target, you know, they're kind of like just kind of look like a victim, you know, it's like free cash. So yeah, I mean, if I was like a lowlife anywhere in the world, you know, and you see a guy like that alone walking around or whatever, you just go put your foot up on his neck and take him for whatever he's got. And like, that's the way of the wolf, you know? A wolf could kill another wolf and eat it to survive, but they don't want to do that. What's up guys? They want to eat a rabbit. So if you don't want to be attacked, be a wolf. Just this walk right here to Bolton Bridge, I probably just saw about 30 stray dogs in a 5-10 minute walk. Once again, the bridge that divides the real citizens from the trolls. You know, I'm very excited to be moving, but do I regret any of this? No, not at all. I would have done it all again, because that was just a great experience. Very humbling, grounding experience, you know? That was definitely the most primitive, boots on the ground, like just raw experience I think I've ever lived in my life, honestly. There was a lot of times during this past 3-4 months where I was pretty uncomfortable, you know? Where I was finding myself in situations where I was like, man, what the hell am I doing here? Like, how did I find myself here, you know? But that's what life is about. Going down dark alleys and shit. Oh man, I've even got to make some jumps here. Like a Super Mario. Ooh, look at this guy's got some heavy gaming going on in here. Look at this. Ooh, you got the widescreen monitor. What's up, man? All good? Hi, guys. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Let's check this out. It's like an alleyway or some shit. What's up, guys? All good?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, it's just like residential, I guess. Whoa, it's built up really high here. Oh no, look at this puppy, man. The belly on it is like bloated. You okay? You okay, baby? That doesn't look like a normal stomach at all. Well, one thing I can say for sure is that something that would make me personally want to leave the Philippines one day would 100% be the animal welfare situation, because it is absolutely atrocious. I mean, the horrors that I have saw in the past 4 months, actually some of the worst, all the worst like really bad cases, I either A, don't film them, or B, just don't film them because I don't have my camera with me, you know? But that's for the best, because you guys don't want to see that type of shit anyway. Like, I've saw just open, horrible, gaping, festering wounds, like broken arms and legs, tails, whatever, man, you name it. Just like bleeding from the mouth, bleeding from the ass, tumors. It's all sorts of shit. It's been horrible. The amount of time, resources, manpower, everything that they put into entertainment here is insane. I mean, like festivals every single day, and just concerts and costumes, and just any excuse for an event, which is great, but it's just kind of backwards, because they'll just go home to like, you know, like a decrepit like a decrepit house or whatever, with like garbage and dirt all over the place and stuff. And you can't use the whole like poverty thing as an excuse, because it doesn't cost anything to like clean up your property or something. And that broken window on your house or whatever, like just put a board on there or something, just a piece of wood or something, you know? But they don't really do things like that, you know? They're just very focused on entertainment here, which is pretty backwards to me. I guess a lot of this video has been about the same topic, which really is just, why are foreigners leaving the Philippines? What's your guys' opinion on that? Considering I have a lot of pretty geriatric, hi Kuya, I have a lot of older American viewers, which I imagine if you're watching my channel, you either live in the Philippines, or you've lived here, or plan on living here, or something of that nature, maybe somewhere else in Southeast Asia. So what's your guys' opinion? Well, actually, to be honest, I don't really give a fuck about your opinion, but if you want to comment, you can comment anyway. Uh-oh, it's a prostitute spot again. Oh, this dude's getting manhandled behind me. Holy shit. Those girls were smoking weed. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys know anything about smoking weed in the Philippines, but that is a major crime here. You can get like put in jail for that. Holy. Oh, god damn, man. The profession of prostitution has always really depressed me. That is such a sad, horrible reality for women in the world, man. That's so crazy. Like, I could never imagine, like, I never really struggled with women, but I'm not like the type of dude to chase tail, you know? And like, I've had a couple I don't want to say flings, but like trying to establish a relationship with a girl that I don't really know, and I jump into bed with her kind of earlier than I'd like to, and then the relationship doesn't really come to fruition. And I know how I felt back then. I feel gross. Like, I'm not that type of dude, you know? And yeah, I just like, I need to take a shower, and I'm like, ugh, like, man, that's not my thing, you know? And like, I could just not imagine being a woman in the world. Some dude pulls over, a complete stranger. I got no idea who this guy is or what he's about to do to me. And I'm about to let him do whatever he wants to my body for $12. You know, it's just like, man, like what happened in your life for you to get to that point? It's just so sad. I think that I was raised by a family that taught me that sex is like sacred, something that you do between you and a loved one. You know, it's something that you cherish, and it's supposed to be like an emotional thing between two loving individuals, you know? So I don't know, when I hear about like people making it like a transactional thing or something, it's just so backwards in my head. It's just so sour, such bad taste. I want to pick up the princess from work again. Oh God, the garbage truck just drove past me. Oh man, garbage trucks here in the Philippines are different. It's not compacted into the back of a truck. It's like more so just thrown on top. Everyone just like, they just throw the bags on top with this massive mountain of garbage on the back of this truck, and then it just drives through town. So yeah, you can really get a potent whiff of that when it drives past you. If anybody's wondering why I call Jerlyn the princess, it's because she honestly is a princess. I mean, she looks like one. What's up, Guyas? She looks like one. And she's got the attitude of one too. She is a princess. I know she's gonna watch this too, but yeah, she's a princess. She's bratty. She's got a bad temper. She has poor communication, and she loves makeup and smelling good and looking all fancy and stuff like that. And like, she's picky. You know, a lot of food. She's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, she's a princess, man. I'm dating a princess, 100%. I love her. I definitely love her, but she's a princess. I wish I had more to show you guys. Which is kind of crazy because Davao City is the biggest city in the Philippines, and yet I just feel like no matter where I take this camera, it's just more of the same. My channel is definitely a little bit more dialogue based, you know? Like I've said in the past, I'm not dating a bunch of chicks and running around with girls and checking out nightclubs and red light districts and shit. So yeah, anybody watching my channel is here for a different reason. But let's see the princess. Here we go. Princess. Hey, princess. Every time I come and visit her at work, I lie to her and I tell her that I'm just going to get food or something and I'll be right back. And then I show up at her work and surprise her. I was just telling YouTube that you're a princess.
Yeah, I am.
You agree that you are?
Yeah.
Yeah? You are, definitely.
I'm a bitch.
You're a bitch? Yeah, a little bit, right? Do you think you're kind of a brat too? A brat?
No.
You don't think so? I do. Do you think you're kind of picky too?
Yeah.
Yeah, very picky with food, right?
Yeah.
Kind of bitchy, kind of bratty, picky with the food. Yeah, but really pretty though, right? Very pretty. So obviously with Christmas around the corner, Jerlyn had some cavities, so I paid for her dental bill, and so she came clean and told me that she bought us like matching watches, like couple watches, so that's cute. I really appreciate having a girlfriend that tries for me financially, even though money is a hard thing to come by here in the Philippines. It means a lot to me that she undoes the stereotype of, you know, being a gold digger. Alright guys, I'm about to get my butt cheeks oiled up and massaged by two big burly Filipino guys, so I'll catch you guys in the next video.